Alright guys, welcome to another video. And for those who don't know who I am, my name is Ugo the Eagle and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the channel whereby we talk about all aspects of fitness: physical, financial, psychological, emotional, spiritual, and mental. A few of these things might be the same thing. I don't know, we're journeying, we're going together. So yeah, welcome. In this video, I'm going to talk about one of the best books I have ever read. And this book is called The Richest Man in Babylon. And if you don't have the time to read this book, and I understand that, you should listen to the audio. It's very impactful. It has helped my life. And what I'm doing is I'm going to be bringing out the key takeaways for myself that I learned from this book, right? And this book is timeless, right? It's amazing. So I'll advise you to go read it in total. But if you can't, I hope this video helps you on your journey in your finances, in your wealth building process. It's helped me, and I'm on my journey, as you guys know. So let's get started. So the very first thing I learned is the 7 cures for a lean purse. Right? Now, in this video, or in this segment of the video, lean purse, what does that mean? A purse that does not have a lot of money in it. Right? So, it talks about the 7 cures for a lean purse, step by step. The first cure is start thy purse to fattening. What does this mean? Consistently save a portion of your income, no matter how small, right? And grow your wealth over time through the power of compound interest, right? So it's not telling you that you can become rich tomorrow. Nothing in this book actually explains how to become rich tomorrow. It tells you how to become wealthy over time. So even if you have nothing, I bet you, if you do the next thing, you'll be able to start a purse to fattening. And the next thing is control that expenditures. Okay? This means you have to start a budget, right? You need to become mindful of your spending and prioritize essential expenses over discretionary ones to ensure your savings can accumulate. I know there's the people who say YOLO, you only live once. It always turns out that these people who have the mentality of you only live once are always the ones who then live up to 100 years old. And they are broke all through that time because they kept on living like they would die that day. And then God started blessing them with life. Now there are all the other side of things. There's a story in the Bible whereby the man who kept on piling everything for later on, and then he died that night. So I'm not telling you to save everything you make and not enjoy anything in life. I'm also not telling you enjoy everything you have now and not ever plan for the future. I'm telling you to find a healthy balance in between that. Control that expenditures. Ensure that you're able to sort out a budget that works for you. Even when you're balling and flexing, there should be a budget for that. Then the next thing is, the moment you started saving up, you now need to learn. I want you guys to hear this first. Just before you start putting money into anything, you need to learn how to invest then learn what you're investing in, and then start investing wisely into reliable and profitable ventures that will then generate returns and grow your wealth. Right? Don't just throw money into the next crypto boom. Don't YOLO. Again, don't YOLO. I have YOLO'd, and I am telling you, 99% of the time it's not going to work out. This channel is not for the 1% that want to change their life. It's for the person, the regular person, who can then believe and understand the processes they can do to begin a change in their life. Anyone can do it. If I am starting to do it, I believe we all can do it. The next thing you need to understand, which is the fourth cure for a lean purse: guide thy treasure from loss. You need to protect your wealth by diversifying your investments and avoiding high-risk speculative ventures that could lead to significant loss. I heard a saying, right? And I don't know who said this. I listened to a lot of things, so I might have picked this up somewhere and I don't remember who. A poor person looks to gamble to become rich. A rich person looks to grow slowly to remain wealthy. So, if you think that you can gamble your way to success, this is why, as much as we are traders, those who follow me that are traders, there is still the concept of risk management. You cannot continuously be making high risk, high reward type of gambles. The best type of gamble is low risk, high reward. But if you can't get that medium risk, medium reward, medium risk, high reward, or low risk, low reward, but over a significant amount of time, this becomes high reward. The fifth thing is, make of thy dwelling a profitable investment. Now, this means consider owning your own home or investing in real estate as a means of building equity and generating passive income. There are two schools of thoughts on this. There are people who hate the concept of getting a mortgage to start real estate. There are other people who understand the importance of having a mortgage. This book tells you to find a way to get into the property ladder. Okay? There are a lot of doors that can open once we get into this. But you don't just jump into it, because there's a lot that goes into owning your own home that is not talked about by these flashy real estate gurus. This is why anything you go into, before you go into it, you need to find someone doing what you want to do on a high level and exchange value for their time, or you need to go through tremendous study about that thing before you go into it. The next thing is you need to ensure a future income, right? This means you need to ensure financial security for you and your loved ones by setting aside funds for emergencies, retirement, and other long-term needs. This also means creating life insurance. Life insurance is a very tough conversation for a lot of people, Because a lot of people start to think, if I get life insurance, maybe they'll kill me. If you have a wife or a partner that your mentality is like that, why are you with them? A lot of people don't want to talk about insurance. A lot of people don't want to talk about their will because they don't want to talk about dying. But the only thing on earth that is inevitable is death. So you have to be open to that fact. It's just like someone who's in university and never wants to talk about graduation and what they're going to do after graduation. The only thing that's inevitable about your time in university is that it's going to end. So you need to plan for after that. You don't want to create a family and bring a family into this world and leave them worse off than you brought them in. So you need to start thinking about that. And finally, you need to increase your ability to earn. Right? Guys, you don't stop learning after you graduate school. Some people stop learning in middle school. Some people stop learning in high school. Some people stop learning after their master's degree. But you never stop learning. Constantly chase development. Right? Essential ways for you to make more. Whether it's by a high income skill, a physical way for you to make more, anything, you need to find ways to do this. Continue to develop yourself to increase your potential over time. Now, that's the first takeaway. The next takeaway was the 5 laws of gold. I don't know, but you guys already know that by the time you're watching this video, there's already a video on my channel about why I trade gold, why I love gold. So everything that talks about gold then is something that if I can deep into it, I love about it. So the 5 laws of gold then breaks down the same thing we talked about. You need to save at least 10% of your income. I think for people on their journey in debt, this figure might change, but you need to have plans. You need to invest that savings wisely, right? To minimize risk and maximize returns in places like real estate, stocks, or businesses. Let your money work for you. You make money, you then send money. Should never be worshipped. Money is a tool. And the worst thing we all right now, most of us are on this path right now, we work for our money. Money is a very terrible master for a very amazing slave. The moment we learn to change from just working for our money to making our money work for us, our lives start to change. Which is why I started my journey into trading. Because that's one of the highest levels of making money work for you. There are other ways whereby you can invest into real estate, invest into stocks, invest. Right? Again, we talk about protecting your wealth from loss, which is ensuring your wealth, avoiding unnecessary risks, and safeguarding your financial well-being. Finally, on the 5 laws of gold, being given. Share your wealth with others. Give back to your community or help those that are in need. Right? It's rewarding and it's beneficial to your health, beneficial to your wealth. My dad, I hope and I believe, my dad is not with me in this country. He's in Africa. But that man, one of my biggest goals and my biggest prayers is to one day, he's 67, so I hope he's going to be alive a long time by God's grace. But it's to one day sit him down and interview him for you guys. He always told us that being given is the best way to get stuff. The Bible says it as well. Alright? Almost every rich person talks about it. A closed hand never gets anything. You're giving out, but your hand is open for you to receive. That's why as little as you have, you give something. The next part of things that I took away is this Albert Einstein saying, the greatest mathematical discovery of all time is the power of compound interest. Alright? So basically, the story in The Richest Man in Babylon talks about this man called Akkad, right? Akkad is the central character in the book, The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason, right? He was a young scribe in ancient Babylon, right? Who through a series of wise financial decisions and practices, remember what I talked about in my previous video about deliberate practice? You need to deliberately practice the journey to becoming wealthy. He became the wealthiest man in the city, right? Akkad's journey to wealth began when he was gifted a sum of gold pieces by a wealthy man, which he used to start his own business. And over the years, not in 1 year, over the years, Akkad's wealth grew through prudent savings, wise investments, and the power of compound interest. Right? He became a very respected financial advisor, teaching others the principles of wealth building that he had learned. Alright? So that's the story in The Richest Man in Babylon. There's also the story of how the person became a slave first, and from becoming a slave, escaped slavery and started paying off his debt, and then became wealthy. Alright? So, I want to compare the principles in this book, right? The Babylonian principles, as it were, to modern day financial principles. By the way, guys, all these videos I make, none of them is financial advice. I'm just giving people what I am going through on my journey, and I'm hoping it adds value. So the Babylonian principle and its counterpart of today. You need to save a portion of your income every month. Automate it if possible with today's services. Pay yourself first. You need to invest your savings into assets that generate income. Okay? Gone are the days whereby we are chasing, using the money we currently make to buy the niceties in life. Maybe once or twice you could do that, but that should not be your goal. Your goal should not be to go and work and take the money you make from working and then go and give to a company to wear in exchange for a shoe that's going to be out of fashion in 3 years' time. The goal is to take the money you made and put it into something that could make you money out of that money. And then it's that thing that generates income that you then take that income and spend lavishly, because that will always create income. Try your best to avoid debt and live within your means. In today's day and age, a lot of us, it's very hard for us to avoid debt. But if you're in debt, you need to learn how to manage your debt wisely. Learn the difference between good debt and bad debt. And try your best to maintain a good credit score. Reinvest your profits to grow your wealth. We're talking about the same thing. Compound your returns by reinvesting those profits to make even more money in low risk investments, guys. Right? Now, he talks about a debt elimination process. And I told you about the story of the guy who became a slave because he was in debt. And then he came back, and he took a step-by-step process to getting out of debt. And this is where I've coined this the debt elimination process. So the first thing you need to do is for those of us that are in debt, first thing you need to do is you need to assess your debt. Gather information about your current debts, including the total amount owed, interest rates, and minimum payments. Next thing you need to do is create a budget. Right? You need to develop a detailed budget that outlines your income, your expenses, and the available funds for you to allocate towards your debt. Prioritize debt. So before you talk about investing, before you talk about savings, getting out of debt should be first. So you need to identify the debts, right, with the highest interest rates or lowest balances. I talk about debt snowball method in another video. And focus on paying the lowest balances first, and then start the debt snowball. The next thing you need to do is you need to negotiate with your creditors. If you can't afford the payments, you need to have a conversation about this. So you need to reach out to your creditors and negotiate for lower interest rates, reduced fees, or alternative payment plans to make your debt more manageable so you can sleep at night. And so you can take care of your family while paying your debt. The next thing you need to do is you need to increase your income. So you need to start thinking of ways to make more income, right? Whether it's getting a side job, working more hours, doing freelance work, or reducing your lifestyle to accommodate more debt payments. Again, reduce your expenses. And finally, you need to stick to the plan. You need to remain committed in getting out of debt. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. Some months it's gonna feel like that debt is not moving, mate. But you need to stay down. Don't try to risk more to pay it off. No, stay down and stick to it, and eventually it will go. So what are the key takeaways from today, guys? Pay yourself first. Set aside a portion of your income for savings and investments, and invest only after you paid off your debt, right? The next thing is you need to live within your means. Stop the overspending and accumulating of debt. Spend less than you earn and prioritize your needs over your wants. Right? I drive a deep VW 2007 right now. I don't care, right? But I don't have any payments on my car. I want to drive a Beamer. I know that right now I can't. So I lay low and I do what I need to do. You need to invest in assets, not liabilities, right? You need to start focusing on acquiring assets that generate income and appreciating value rather than just depreciating liabilities like clothes, shoes, and all this stuff. Compound interest is powerful, guys. It starts little. Start little, start little, start little, and eventually compounding will catch up with you and you'll be shocked. Diversify your investments, right? Guys, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Right? Don't. That's why it's good to if you're going into stocks, buy the S&P 500, buy a basket of stocks. Don't just buy one. Okay? So these are the key takeaways I got from this book, and I tried to break it down for it to be as understandable and applicable to today's life. I hope you guys gain value from this, right? If you like this type of content, please ensure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, comment down below what you like, and comment the types of videos you would like me to post about moving forward. Alright? But with that being said, have a blessed and peaceful day, family. I want to see everybody at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. And we never want to look down on anyone unless you're trying to lift them up. But most importantly, guys, on this journey, believing that we can is way more profitable than believing that we can't. Have a blessed and peaceful day, guys. Peace and love. Let's get it.